Welcome back to the Lodge, my fellow Wolfpack. Black Rose Wars is here and it's better than ever. Yo, I'm so hyped for this game. Your goal in Black Rose Wars is to score the most points by defeating other mages, by slinging spells at each other to destroy rooms, and by completing quests. You start off with the Black Rose phase where a new event is revealed. Now this brings players together right away because something happens to everyone, like for instance, the Gathering teleports all mages to the center. And the center is where we fight for the strongest spells in the game, the Forgotten Spells. After events, you get to draw quests if you don't already have any, and these quests will send your mage on a journey to do things like fight other mages as an executioner disciple, or setting traps like an apprentice illusionist. And then we go to the study phase. At the beginning of the game, every mage is going to pick out which school of magic that they want to specialize in. And you start the study phase by drawing 2 cards from your grimoire, which is your deck of cards. And then one of the best parts about this game is that you draw 4 spells that you can mix and match from any school of magic. You add 2 of these cards to your hand and the other 2 go back to the library of spells. Now naturally, this game is all about casting spells, and you can set traps, you can defend yourself with protection spells, you can deal direct damage, you can summon these wild monsters called evocations, all kinds of things. And this is what makes the game fun, because you have a giant pool of spells to play with. And then as you are learning these spells and adding them to your grimoire over time, it makes you feel like you are a mage studying and learning and training to become the ultimate archmage, master mage, ultimate wizard, whatever you want to call it. Now, a lot of these spells are going to have this black circle in the middle, which means you're going to add instability to the room where your mage is casting spells. Once the room fills up with instability, it's going to score you points at the end of the round, and for Black Rose Wars Revised, it's going to destroy the room for the rest of the game. After studying your spells, we go into the preparation phase. You don't just cast whatever you want, whenever you want, or else we'd be flinging spells all over the place. Instead, there has to be some order and some limitation for how we're doing this. So in this phase, you slot in spells that you want to play on your mage sheet. You have slot 1, 2, and 3. Whatever you put in slot 1 has to be played first, and so on. The top left lets you slot in any spell you want to have access to immediately. These are kind of like your quick play spells. All right, we've cycled through our events and quests. We have studied our spells, we prepared our spells, and now begins total mass destruction, which is now the action phase. Here's where we're gonna take our turns. You have to perform 1 or 2 actions. There are 2 of these physical action tokens on your board, and when you flip one over, you can explore. Now, when you explore, you're gonna move up to your speed. In this case, I'm looking at my mage character, and my speed says 2, so I can move up to 2 spaces. Then there's a worker placement aspect to this game because I can then activate whichever room I'm in, because each room has a unique effect, like the summoner room, letting you summon a Cerberus. Cerberus will convert other mages' damage into yours, or another example is the Sanctuary that lets you heal 3 damage on yourself or your evocations. A second option for you is to fight, where you literally punch another mage or a model for physical damage shown on your mage sheet, followed by activating the room that you're in as well, which you can do in either order. You can either activate a room and then fight, or fight and then activate a room, and the same with Explore. All right, y'all, I would love to keep making videos like this, but I can't do that without you. So if you can hit subscribe down below if you aren't subscribed already, it would help me a ton. Let's grow the Wolfpack even further. And with that, let's continue on with action number 3 that you can take, which is to command. This allows you to take control of your evocations and have them do your bidding. So all your summons are gonna activate, and I love this part of the game because it really rewards you for investing in summons. And it feels so good when you have an army of summons attacking for you, and this really brings out the whole battle royale that you're looking for in a game like this. So after the evocations are done, you're gonna go into the final phase, which is the cleanup phase, where all of your revealed spells are discarded and you score points for any rooms that are full. And just like defeating mages, you're gonna score points for first place and then second place and so on. Endgame is triggered once someone passes the final mark, and the most solved quests and the most trophies earned from defeating other mages will earn 4 points, and then 2 points, and then 1 point. So what's new about Black Rose Wars, the Revised Edition? Well, one of my biggest complaints about this game was that the rules needed to be clarified even further. And I'm so happy that they have addressed that in this version, because it may not seem like a big deal, but with a game with so many edge cases, rules are such an important factor to that. And then you also have restylized components. So this is what has been shown for Black Rose Rebirth. And then you have this beautiful white board that completely contrasts this, and I think this is such a good fit for Rebirth and then for the Revised 2nd edition. Revised is also getting a much requested solo mode for all my solo gamers out there. And the rulebooks between Rebirth and Revised are practically like the same. They're about 95% the same. So that's a good thing, because then you can mix and match components from both games. That begs the question, what are the main differences between Rebirth and Revised? Well, I would say there are two main factors. In Revised, it's all about destroying rooms. You have all the effects of rooms out first, and then as soon as you have destroyed a room completely, the effects are completely gone for the rest of the game. But in Rebirth, it's all about rebuilding the lodge after a room has been rebuilt, so the effects of the room get enhanced. Revised also feels a lot more clinical and a lot more safe. It's not a bad thing if this is what you prefer, because I feel like the overall gameplay is more tame. If you want softened, straightforward gameplay, then Revised is the way to go. But if you want more chaotic, borderline imbalanced, and a lot of spell slinging and just complete total chaos, then I would say Rebirth is the way to go. An example is with the center board, the Black Rose room. In Revised, you have to wait actually before you even use this room. So you can't even use it in the first moon cycle, and there are 3 moon cycles in the game. And on top of that, it also has a higher cost. You have to discard 4 cards in order to get 1 forgotten spell. And forgotten spells are my favorite part about this game. It's all about using these world-ending spells. And I love that about Black Rose Wars. But then in Rebirth, you have immediate access to the Black Rose room. You don't have to wait for a certain moon cycle, and the cost is also less. You only have to discard 3 cards instead of 4. Point being, Rebirth makes you feel like a stronger mage, but naturally, as you have more stronger mages around the table, you will be dying more frequently. Versus in Revised, it's more of a slow burn, especially since you don't have access to those forgotten spells right away. So then your survivability will then increase a little bit more than in Rebirth. So it just depends on what you like more. Do you like having a slow burn but increased survivability, or do you like having more chaotic spells but dying more frequently? So aside from aesthetics, those are pretty much the main differences between the two versions. So then you might be wondering, well, which version do I need then, Tim? Well, I think if you are totally new to the Black Rose Wars world, then Revised is a great starting point. It is probably the best starting point right now, especially since it's been updated tremendously since it first came out 7 years ago. The rules are way more streamlined. The gameplay is definitely strategic and has been refined a lot over the years. But if you were like me and started with Rebirth, do you need Revised? I would say no, because you already have so much content involved already with Rebirth. I'm still going through like 2 or 3 more boxes of all the expansions that I got for Rebirth anyway. So I don't think you really need Revised if you already have Rebirth. Playing Revised now is also gonna feel a lot more calm and toned down if you're already used to Rebirth. But I'm still gonna back Revised because I absolutely love this world. Plus, I love the fact that you can mix and match the components from Revised and Rebirth as well. And it also is a really nice variant to the gameplay that you're used to. Instead of rebuilding rooms, you're breaking down once and for all. It sounds like a small thing, but still does change gameplay a lot for you to have a nice variation to how you're used to playing Black Rose Wars. Now, overall, the biggest issue that I gotta see addressed in the campaign, which by the way, I will link down below in case you wanna check it out. But the biggest thing for me that I need to see fixed is the insert. See, this shelf right here, initially it looks stunning, right? You have a nice artwork on the side. You can just pull out whichever expansion you want from the drawer and it'd be easy, right? No. Let me show you how much of a hassle this is. I take out one expansion box, and then this expansion has stuff hidden behind the hole, this giant gap here. And then when you take it out, you have a tile, you have all these minis, and you have separate cards, okay? Well, when you're playing the game, all of this gets mixed up. So it becomes so impractical to take this out one by one and then separate each expansion one by one. No one knows which components go to where except you. The biggest reason why I don't get Black Rose Wars tabled enough is literally because of the organization of the insert. Especially when you start adding in expansions, I want to put all expansions in one box and just have dividers. Like, okay, I just want to play the chaos spells and the druid spells and then have them all organized, have them separated by a divider with sleeves, that'd be super awesome. And have all the miniatures all in one box instead of have some miniatures here, I have some of the map tiles here, I have some of the spells here, I have some of the quests over here. Is just, it looks fine. It's not. If they just offer 1 or 2 boxes to have extremely organized gameplay where you can just take things out of the box and go straight into the game, trust me, it's a win-win for everyone, because then we get to play it more, we get to talk about it more, we get to share it more, and it just, this barrier right here is what stops me from playing the game as often as I want to. The second thing I really want to see is truly asymmetric characters. Reason being is because the characters you have now, your character sheets have very minor differences in stats between each one. And it just feels so safe. Like I get why, because they want to keep the characters as balanced as possible. But after every single time I've taught this game, so I've taught and played Rebirth over 15, 17 times now. And I've also played Revised 3 times at the 3-player account and 2-player account. And every single time I'm teaching this game to new players, I get the same exact critique at the very end, which is, you know, my character actually doesn't feel that different. So like, what's different between the characters? Because like the stats are practically the same. Exactly. And the character cards that you get, if you think about it, at the beginning of the game, you add in 6 spells. And with these 6 spells, you get 1 more character. So there's barely any kind of asymmetry happening here. And I would easily pay 15, 20, 25 bucks for just a small add-on pack that has the mage sheets with unique abilities. Like, I want to see Nero with friggin' Meteor. I want to see Nero summoning Infernos or something. You're playing a mage-themed game. You do feel like you are spell slinging with all the kinds of spells that you have access to, but you don't feel different from other players aside from what you're studying and using in the library. I want to feel different as a character by having unique asymmetric abilities. Or at least if people don't like having asymmetry, that's fine. Just have an optional add-on pack where I can get my Meteor, my Comet, and my Infernal Hellscape with Nero and any other mage that just gives unique abilities for that. I would easily pay for an add-on if they offer something like that. To me, adding in that asymmetry would really elevate the gameplay to like its maximum. So other than the insert and the asymmetric abilities, obviously I absolutely love this game and I will be backing Revised even if I already have Rebirth. I love so much about this. It is a dream mage spell slinging arena battle royale game. I love how worker placement is elegantly crafted into the game. It works so well for a game like this. I also love how no one is safe in the lodge no matter where you are. They really have targeted movement so that way no one is sitting there turtling, and if they do for a little bit, you're gonna have people like on you right away. If you die, it's fine because it rewards the person that got that last hit. It also rewards the person that did the most damage, getting 5 points. And yes, you may lose your evocations, but it doesn't hurt that bad because you can come out of the gate swinging right away. This whole rebuilding dynamic in Rebirth and then in Revised, having you destroy rooms and getting points for that, like having all these options to score points while not being solely focused on this PvP aspect, it just makes Black Rose Wars one of my favorite games to play. For me though, I do like it at a higher player count, 3 at the minimum. I don't really like it at 2, even if you can add in an avatar, because it just feels like work for me. But at like 4, I think is when Black Rose Wars really shines the best out of all player counts. 5 may be a little bit too long, but it's still really fun. At 4, you really get to see all these interactions take place between all kinds of schools of magic, and I love that. Definitely a huge favorite for me. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed my review on Black Rose Wars Revised, comparing a little bit to Rebirth. If you have any questions about this game, go and let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. And if you made it to the very end, go ahead and comment Meteor, because that's what we want to see in this game, y'all. We want to see a giant meteor or something crazy. Blizzard, lightning storm. Actually, there's a forgotten spell called lightning storm. But anyways, point being, comment Meteor down below if you made it here. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the lodge.